Just arrived, Andy Black. Oh, yeah. Him and Phil Locke could have some fun. But Andy Black's just arrived over from Dublin, Ireland. I know he was at the final table of the Irish Open, which probably is, to him, one of the great tournaments that he'd want to win. He was chip leader there. He's been on a little bit of a roll lately.
Yeah. I think he went out in 8th place, though. So, again, another disappointing final table for Andy Black. But I'll tell you, he gets a hold of chips in tournaments. I got to give him credit for that.
I don't see Andy that much these days. Usually goes to Vegas for the World Series and doesn't travel much beyond that. He's a family man. But have a look here.
Locke has raised the pot. Katchalov 3-bet it to 900, and Trickett has picked up 2 kings here. And he's going to get a 4-bet in. Says, you guys can raise it. Let me raise.
I mean, this is a lot different, isn't it, than the Katchalov 4-bet on Torelli? And the reason I'm saying that, Mike, is because people perceive Trickett differently, don't they?
1,500 more.
I mean, he is capable of making a light 4-bet here. Can Katchalov see through this?
Well, you're right about that. He knows this is the one player at the table that could be making a move here. Now, he may just want to opt to call and see a flop with the 2 9s.
They're never going to know.
See if little cards come up, or obviously if he could flop a 9.
32,000, whatever. It doesn't matter that.
If he was, they were both a lot deeper. Calling would feel a little more trivial because you could almost set mine, but I don't think they're deep enough here. Katchalov's only got about 15,000, so.
Well, he makes the call for 1,500 more, so over 5,200 in the pot right now, and we're going to have a flop here. Great spot. 3 little cards that could be trouble for Katchalov. Well, the queen came up, so there is an overcard out there. It's come queen 6-5. Obviously a good flop for Trickett. I don't see him slowing down with all that money out there.
I wonder what their history is together, Trickett and Katchalov. I mean, I'm guessing they've squared off in some of the high roller events around the world.
Okay, we'll go the longest.
And when it comes to cash games, I know Katchalov would prefer to play big limit mix games as opposed to big bet poker, meaning PLO or no limit hold'em, even though he plays those games very good. But so they probably haven't played a lot of cash games together, but I'm sure they've crossed paths in tournaments on a number of occasions.
Now, this decision was never going to get any easier for Katchalov, Mike, unless the 9 hit the flop. Do you agree with that? I mean, this was always going to happen.
Well, I think Katchalov could have been in trouble had it come deuce-deuce-6. But just because it's Sam Trickett and he's so aggressive, you see what's happening here. Because you give all that action earlier, when you finally get a hand you get paid off with, that's what happens to Phil Ivey, that's what happens to Gus Hansen, and right here, that's what's happening to Sam Trickett.
Now, Katchalov right now only has 11,000 back. There's 11,000 in the pot. So, exactly. Trickett can certainly bet all in here.
Well, I think that's what you do if you're Trickett. You're fearful that the guy has a diamond draw, perhaps.
No, it's the beauty of it. None of us know anything.
You just hate to let him draw it. But on the other hand, you might want to just bet half the size of the pot and lure him in for another 5,000.
Got it.
One thing's for sure, it's impossible for Trickett. He's gone all in. He set Katchalov on, but impossible for him to consider giving up the kings.
Oh, no way. Impossible. He's just going. He's just going to call the rebuy person if this hand's no good. No doubt about it. Now Katchalov, who knows Trickett's very capable of bluffing here. He made a gut shot straight draw in the turn, meaning he can win the pot with an 8 now too, as well as a 9. And to him, he thinks he could very well have the best hand. Trickett could have ace-king be making this play. He could be making it with air. 2 9s could be good against this particular player a number of times.
I mean, it's just one of those things with the top players, isn't it, Mike, where the decisions don't get any easier because, as you said, the best players, they will fire. When they start firing, they will fire.
I'm looking at Dale.
But against the Eugene Katchalov, do you fire? You know the guy's got a hand. He 3-bet. He called your raise pre-flop. He called on the flop. You know the guy's got a hand. Do you keep bluffing that kind of player?
So you think Eugene can actually lay this down?
I do, if he thinks everything out.
Do you like how I wasn't shy? Normally I'd do 310.
Yeah. We saw
and in truth, the queen could have hit Trickett.
You trapped me and I just like bought.
He doesn't know the queen didn't hit him on the flop.
Kind of reversing it.
where he's beat.
That's my call.
But I told you, because it's that player, he's making the call, and now he's going to have to catch an 8 or 9 to win the pot. Trickett's reputation and style of play has won him this pot, and it is going to be a good one.
It's going to be even again if the 8 or 9 doesn't come.
Well, yeah, I'm assuming that the 8 or 9 doesn't come off, of course, when I say it's going to be a good one for Trickett. But all that play he did earlier, splashing around, 3-betting, and all the 4-betting and fussing around, this is how you get rewarded. Because you give action, you get action. He's getting it here. Now let's see if the Kings hold up. 3 comes off, so there you go. Just takes one time only to get your money back in No Limit Hold'em.